If you are texting and driving in Maryland and you cause a car accident, you could face tougher penalties as a result of that. At least that's what some people are proposing under new legislation titled Jake's Law. Now, Jake's Law is named after a 5-year-old who was killed in the backseat of a car after someone was texting and driving and then rear-ended the car, and he died as a result of that. Terrible story. And so as a result, of course the mother decided to go after the person who was texting and driving, but since there were no laws on the books that would allow her to go after him for criminal purposes, he only got off with a $1,000 fine. Now, Jake's Law would mean jail time for those who are texting and driving and they cause a serious crash. Let me give you some more details about it. It would penalize distracted drivers found guilty of causing a serious or fatal crash with up to 3 years in jail, a $5,000 fine, and 12 points on their driver's license, enough for the license to be suspended. The bill would also require suspected distracted drivers to give police their cell phone number, carrier, and email address. An earlier version of the legislation called for drivers to surrender their phones to police for inspection, but that section has been removed. So basically what would happen is they would have the ability to contact the phone carrier and then investigate that way instead of looking through the phone.
So let me get this right. Is it just for after a crash they investigate to see if you were texting? Or could it be like, I thought you were driving distracted, now give me all your stuff and I'm going to see if you texted things?
Well, it's only after a crash. So it would have to be a crash. It doesn't even have to be a fatal crash. Let's say you cause a car accident and for some reason the officer suspects that you were distracted while driving. Like in this particular case where this 5-year-old died, the guy was going over 60 miles an hour when he crashed into the car. So obviously he wasn't paying attention at all. He was looking down. So under circumstances like that, the officer can have reasonable suspicion that there was some sort of distraction.
I think I'm in favor of this law.
I'm in favor of it as well. I'm going to be 100% honest. There have been times when I stop at a red light, sometimes I pick up my phone really quick to check, and I need to stop doing that. I don't do it while I'm driving, but this was a huge wake-up call for me. Like, put your phone in your purse, put it in the back seat, stay the hell away from it, because when you're distracted, even for a second, you never know what the car in front of you is going to do. They can slam on their brakes, and boom, before you know it, you're crashing into them.
Yeah, a long time ago, about 15 years ago in Miami, me being the anal guy that I am, I used to try to read while driving to be more efficient.
Oh, that's like the worst idea.
What a dumb thing to do, right? So, of course, I wouldn't read while I'm on the highway, like, what's he doing, right? But, like, just like you said, red lights, etc. And there was one light or intersection where I looked this way, and I was positive the guy had left, but I had just been reading the paper, and I went, boom, right into the back of his car. I was like, and then I promised not to read in the car anymore. And look, I haven't been perfect about that either. But you're right. Here's another really scary story. I remember when I was a kid, having nothing to do with being distracted or anything, but there was a pile of leaves. I grew up in New Jersey, and in the fall, these leaves pile up, and often people will rake them back in the day before we had the annoying leaf blowers.
That doesn't really actually do
it. I hate
anything.
those things. Anyway. And they'd be these huge piles of leaves by the curb. And my friend and I were saying, hey, should we drive through one of those? That could be fun. And we're like, let's not do it.
Oh no, there was a person in it.
There was a kid in there. Like, we didn't do it, and literally the kid popped his head up out of the rake leaf pile. And I was like, oh my God, thank God we didn't make that mistake, right? And so driving is the most important thing you do because it's the most likely to have devastating consequences for you or someone else. So you got to be paying as much attention as possible. If they were taking this every opportunity to try to bust people and look into their private lives, I thought you were driving kind of funny, give me your phone, I would hate that and I would be totally against it,
I think
right?
that there will be abuses. I'm going to be completely honest with you. But I do believe in tougher penalties for those who are driving while they're distracted. And look, they have to prove that you were distracted while you were driving. So.
And if there's been an accident, well, then tracing back what happened in that accident, I think is totally fair.